Okay, I have a very exciting video for everyone today. I'm going to Alt-Tab and switch to my terminal. This is my MSys terminal, and you'll see that I've already navigated to the folder containing my source code here. So if I do ls and list a directory, we see my source files here. I have extra.h, which is my header file. I have main.c, which is my source file that I showed in previous videos, but I've added some things, and now I simply shorten the name to simply main.c because I want a shorter name, and you're about to see why. Now this video, what's different about this video is now I am not using the mouse at all to record this video, nor am I using the mouse as I compile and run my program. I am learning to do computer programming without the mouse, and this is a very exciting time for me because it's so cool. So here, you see my files. I'm going to be using Vim to look at my source file here. Okay, so I'm going to do Vim main.c. Now when I do Vim main.c, I have opened my source code within Vim and it's syntax highlighted. Vim is really super cool. Now here's where things are about to get interesting. I can compile and run my program from inside Vim, and here's how I'm going to do it. I do colon and exclamation point and then make, and that's because if you do a colon and an exclamation point, it's everything after that on the line is a command. So when I do that and hit enter, then we already have my program compiled and run. Now look at this program I wrote. I can move the checkerboard around. It's super cool. I can move the checkerboard around in the main 4 directions. I can move it in diagonal directions. You like that? Yeah, I can do all sorts of amazing things. And I have Twilight Sparkle here. Now check this out. I can move Twilight Sparkle. Now she moves really slow for whatever odd reason, but here's the thing. When I hold the control key and then I press the keys that make her move, then she moves faster. So it's a hardware thing for whatever reason. You know how like some games you play, like the character will walk at a certain speed, but then they'll tell you to hold control and press the arrows, and then all of a sudden the character runs instead. There's some kind of hardware issue with that. I'm not sure why that is. I didn't code that into my game, but yeah, that's what happens. So I have Twilight Sparkle. I can move her around here on the checkerboard, and I can also move the checkerboard itself. I can scroll it, and I've shown this off in previous videos. It's super effective. That's a Pokemon reference that I accidentally did. Okay, anyway, so as you see, the program works fine, and the program does exactly what it's meant to do. It simply it lets me scroll the checkerboard, and it lets me move Twilight Sparkle around, which is so cool. So now I am going to exit the program and see what it does. It shows the command used to compile and run it. It's all on one line, by the way, because you use the 2 ampersands together to combine commands into a single line. And then press enter, type command, and continue. So when I press enter, I'm back in Vim. I successfully I opened up my source code in Vim, and I can make changes to the source code, and then I can very easily compile and run my code from within Vim without even having to exit. Because if I had to exit and then type make and then run it, well then I would have to do vim main.c again to get back in the source code. I am using Vim as an IDE, and it's a good thing. You know what? I uninstalled Visual Studio because I was trying to learn to use it, and it's like it's too slow. It crashed all the time. But now that I'm learning to use Vim, I could do my programming in Vim. And I don't have to worry about whether my mouse is going to work or not, because Vim is designed in such a way that you can do pretty much everything all through the keyboard. And I don't know very much about Vim. Right now all I know is basic editing. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to go down here. And I'm going to show you an example of making a change. So for this example, I want to keep this video super short because right now I'm showing off both the fact that I can use Vim and I'm showing off my amazing program. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a small change, and that's going to be a color change. So let's say, for example, that, surface 1 here, yeah, this is the code for the checkerboard. The checkerboard, so it had black and white squares. However, I can change the colors of the palette at any time I ever feel like. So let's make the squares that were black, let's make them green, okay? Let's make the squares green. So I'm going to enter insert mode. I hit I to enter insert mode, and then backspace, and then I'm going to type 255 here. I'm changing the green value for that color. Then I press escape. I'm back in normal mode. And then I write the file. And then I do colon, and then I do exclamation, and then I do make, and the program should compile and run. And let's see, yep, now the black squares are green. I just changed the color by editing my source code and changed the black squares to green. Now, what would be a good color to go with that green? I'll show you a really good color that goes with green. So let's exit this. Let's go back to Vim, and then let's change the green component of the white to 0, and then we're going to save it with :W, and then we're going to run the make command again. And here we are. We've got green and magenta. So I can edit the source code of my program, which I just showed you twice, and then I can load the checkerboard. This is the rolling checkerboard demo, or as I named it, as you can see in the title of the window, it's the SDL Infinity Checkerboard. So this is my infinite checkerboard that I made, and it's just so super cool. You know, so I have that, and then I can, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I like this. I like that I can move Twilight Sparkle around here, and I can move the squares of the checkerboard around. This is just plain beautiful. All right, anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed my amazing program here. This is just so cool. Okay, I'm going to exit that. And you see that. Now the reason that doing that command make from within Vim, the reason that it worked was because of my make file. So I'm going to exit Vim, and I'm just going to do cat make file because my make file is short. This is my make file that I do. So if I just type make, it does the first command, which compiles and runs it. But I can also do other things, like I can make a static build or I can make a clean build. So it's very cool. So anyway, I just showed you how I edited my source code and then recompiled and ran my program from within Vim. It's just beautiful. It's just plain beautiful. Oh, and that's not all. Now that I'm done editing my source code, and I'm going to back up my source code extensively because I just did some work on it, I am going to exit my terminal, and as soon as I exit my terminal, then you now see Open Broadcaster software. Now the cool thing is I even did a keyboard shortcut to start and stop the recording. So as soon as I hit Control-R, this video will end. And I hope this has been very educational. Thank you for watching. I am super excited about computer programming and learning to use Vim. So, goodbye everybody.